when we look back the previous presidential elections, apart from late Mr. J.R. Jayawarthana and late Mr. R. Premadasa, all other candidates, for example, Mrs. Chandrika Kumarduga Bandaranaike and even Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, they all promised to abolish the executive presidency. Once they gained power, they failed to do so. How do you look in this present situation it will be executed?
Because firstly I can't talk of President Rajapaksa. We knew he won't fulfill it, and President Kumaratunga also didn't want to abolish it, though she agreed. As far as the UNP is concerned, the first time we made the commitment, and we are making the commitment because we want to abolish it. We are the ones who have been safeguarding it and saying, no, let's give it a try, let's modify it. But we are telling the country now this is wrong, we have to abolish it. Some of the other parties who are coming in are also the same view. So that's why we are putting a non-party candidate to be president. He can continue to be the non-executive president of Sri Lanka once we have abolished the executive presidency.
As far as Sri Lankan executive presidency is concerned, how the neighboring and superpower India is feeling?
They have no problems about it. It's a matter for us to decide. Yeah. And we will go ahead and but we have decided to accept the recommendations made in the Tissavitana report. Tissavitana, as you know, is Mahinda Rajapaksa's minister who heads the AP, the all-party representative conference, and he has recommended abolishing the executive presidency, transferring the powers to the Prime Minister, and simultaneously with the parliamentary elections, the voters also elect a Prime Minister. So then the same trend will be there. If the trend is for one party, the majority in the party and the Prime Minister will be for that party. We have also gone further to say that the President won't have any power to dissolve Parliament, either on his own or on the advice of the Prime Minister. Parliament will be for a fixed term, but the Parliament can by resolution decide to go for elections early, in which case the Parliament and the Prime Minister both will have to face elections again.
Okay. So once you declared General Mr. Sarath Mohan as a common candidate of the opposition, there were news reports saying that India is not willing his entry into politics. How do you comment on this?
I haven't got any such information. People want to know who he is. He's an unknown quantity in most countries. But there has been no opposition. Certainly not.
Okay. So now we come into the situation of Tamils of Sri Lanka. As far as Tamils are concerned, since the independence of Sri Lanka, they have been deprived of their fundamental rights, sovereignty, homeland, by colonization and sanitization and a lot of discriminations. So finally, when the liberation struggle was taken up by the liberation tigers, the struggle of Tamils turned into a new page. You, as the representative of the Sri Lankan government, get into the ceasefire agreement. After the collapse of the ceasefire agreement, the war started up, and now everything is over according to the Sri Lankan government. So, at this juncture, how do you propose a solution to the ethnic situation, long-standing conflict of Sri Lanka?
The 2005 presidential election gave a unique opportunity for all of us to ensure that we could have peace acceptable to all communities. Unfortunately, the LTT and Prabhakaran decided otherwise. They thought they could get a better deal from Mahinda Rajapaksa. I need not tell you what the consequences of that decision was. But the Tamils are leaderless. Tamils are powerless. Tamils of Sri Lankan origin. Many of them are being held in camps in the Vanni. They are unable to do anything. This is bad for the country because Tamils have played an important role in Sri Lanka, both in the present, in the independence, and in the ancient times. The civilization that was there in Jaffna also made a significant contribution in shaping our history. And this country, Sri Lanka, is the land of all of us. A Sinhalese, a Tamil, a Muslim, a Burgher must be able to say, this is my motherland. This is the land to which I belong. We are Sri Lankans entitled to equal treatment. Now this has been the real core issue amongst the Tamils. Issues like standardization got resolved, and then in 1978 Mr. Jayawardena accepted the Dudley Senaka Chellanayagam formula on settlement in all areas according to the ethnic criteria. But this whole issue of equality and the discrimination against Tamils have been the major issue. Now this gives us, with a new parliament, an opportunity. It won't be for very long, but in the year 2010, to sort this out, to get a new constitution, we have to think of not merely of provincial councils. We have to think of overall constitution which guarantees the rights of the people, guarantees, defines the functions of parliament and the executives, and within that we have to have the power sharing systems, whatever everyone can agree on. So we have to have a constitution acceptable to all communities. That's what we are working on, and that is why we want a new parliament with a mandate to prepare that constitution. The Tamils have suffered, and Tamils in the north, in a sense, are also leaderless. Many of their leaders are no longer among the living, but it doesn't mean that everything is lost. There are a large number of Tamils, like many of you all out, who can help, and I have no doubt that we can build a new Sri Lanka based on this.
Okay. On your point of view, the failure of the Tamils in 2005 elections supporting you, the outcome, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa came to power. But as far as Tamils are concerned, since the 1952, the colonization was started by the Senanayaka government, and again in 1965 there were discrimination in the government. At last, there are accusations that rifts and splits among the LTT was created by your government and your subordinates. So how do you look into the situation?